Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and as you can see, we got my Challenger uh, done. It's a little windy today, but we're going to try to do a reshoot on this rifle. And well, what we've got here is a B on it. Challenger 357, and I redone the stock, as you can see, and it looks really good. And if you want to see how I done that, I did a video on this, burning it. And then I've got the bison barrel train on it. And the reason I built this train is because I believe in my heart that the shrouds are doing these guns no justice. It causes an unnecessary twist on the barrel, and it changes it. So I'm a firm believer in this barrel train, simply because it keeps the barrel in line and should not move. And right now I'm using a shot tray. I'm not going to use the clip because we don't want to deform any pellets. Now, I've not seen any evidence of that yet with these CNC clips. I've been hearing a lot of bad about these clips, but it's not the CNC one, it's the plastic one that people have a problem with. I haven't had a problem out of mine yet. Of course, mine's a CNC, $70 for that bad boy, $60, something like that. But anyway, we're going to do a reshoot. Since then, I've sent this, since the last shoot, I was only getting 600 and some feet per second, and indicating that it had some air loss somewhere. And I was always feeling air coming in underneath here. And we're going to see if we got that straightened out, because I sent it back to AEA Northeast. Pete was a pretty decent guy with me, and he really didn't have to take charge of this warranty, but he did. And because I bought it from somebody else, Zach, and I couldn't get him to acknowledge me anymore, so I ended up having to go to Pete. But anyway, we're going to do a reshoot and see if our numbers change now. What we're going to be shooting, let me go ahead and put this down in the shooting position so we can get ready for it. I've got the Chrony out here, and we're going to try to do some Chrony tests. First up, we're going to do three shot groups. Well, three shots. In sequence. Number one, 81 grain pellet, and those are FX pellets. These are the ones that I'm shooting. 81 grain, pulse screen, and we're going to shoot 3 of those. Then Pete over at AEA Northeast sent me a sample pack of these slugs, and these are from Pro Slugs, and I'll put the link to theirs in the description. In fact, I can do better than that. Pause the screen if I can stop shaking. Of course, if you pause, it ain't gonna be shaking. All right, we're gonna shoot 3 of those, and these, I don't know what the weight is, but when I go to shoot them, I'll know by then, and I'll just tell you when I'm shooting them. I haven't weighed them yet because there's nothing that says what grain they are. All right, and then we've got the bison slug. Now these will not fit in your clip, but they will work with a single shot tray. And these are 127.9 grain. These are the ones I cast myself. And we use a Lee Precision mold and melter. And we're going to try 3 of these and see what they give us for power. So without any more talking, actually I have one more thing. I've got the Widowmaker on it, and we're going to see how she shoots. All right, so number 1 shot, 81 grain. Oh, and I am filled at 4,000 psi. Bentac said that we can run the Challenger at 4,500, but I don't feel comfortable with that. I think I'm going to stick with 4,000, simply because I'm a hunter, not a plinker, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm only interested in 2 good shots at least. So here we go. 81 grain FX, 3 shot. $9.69. $9.63. $9.42. That will conclude the 81 grain FX. Now we're going to go to the Pro Slugs, and we're going to weigh this right now. I've got my scale sitting here, and we're talking 100.8 grains. So 108 grain going in the chamber now. It's just a slug. Shot number 1. Am I seeing that right? Does that say 1641? What? That ain't right. Let's do that again. Shot number 2 with the 100 grain. $825. That's more like it. Must have had a glitch in the chronograph. Alright, we're going to shoot the 3rd one, but we're going to shoot a 4th one because the first one was a bad one. $9.38. Let me go get another one of those. Alright, 4th shot to replace the first one that didn't register right. Don't we all wish it was going 1642? $8.23. Alright, that concludes the Pro Slugs. Now, we're going to try the Bison Slugs, which are 127.8 or 9 grain. Alright, now we're going to do the Bison Slugs, and we're going to see how they shoot. Shot number 1. .803, 127.9 grain slug. There's no way. Something's going on with my chronograph. Let's try that again. .886. So there you have the reshoot, and them numbers are a little bit better than they were. Now I feel a little bit more comfortable about this gun, having the power to do what I need it to do, and that is to put food on my dinner table. That's the only reason I buy a gun, is to put food on my table, whether it be for me or my family. That's what my gun's for. My gun is not to go out and hurt people or whatever. My gun is to put food on the table. And that's the only purpose for a gun as far as I can see. Now, as you can see, I had a few problems with the chronograph. One time it read 16 something, we know better than that. And then one time it read 22 something, so we know better than that. So we really only got a 2-shot chronograph on my pellets. So we were using the single shot tray for every one of them, and that's to eliminate any scarring. I don't believe I'm getting any scarring with my clip, but for everybody else's peace of mind, I decided to use the shot tray instead. So now let's talk about something else that came up in a conversation between me and Mike over at M&B Airgun Reviews. We got to talking about suppressors. So let's talk just a little bit about suppressors. A suppressor is designed to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to eliminate the sound, the explosion that comes out of that barrel with the air going so fast. The dB meter, however, is designed to measure the dBs of every sound, not just the barrel sound. It's not like that dB meter is singling out one sound. It's not going to do that. Remember, you're already starting at about between 45 and 65 dBs before you even speak or before you even shoot a gun. So when you shoot the gun, the suppressor is actually doing its job. The problem that people are not realizing is that you have 2 other sounds going on. You've got the sound of the hammer hitting the valve, which is going to be a sound, a pretty loud one for a dB meter. Then you have the air ping in the tank. That air in that tank actually moves when you hit that trigger. So when you release that air in the tank is actually moving. So you have that sound too. And both of those, believe it or not, are louder than the suppressor can quiet the barrel, if you understand what I mean. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're watching a review on suppressors or moderators or LCDs or whatever you want to call it. Keep that in mind, that that dB meter is also listening to other sounds, not just the sound of that barrel. So picking a suppressor is pretty painless because they all do the same thing. The only difference is the sound that your gun makes. So if your gun makes other sounds that are louder than the suppressor can quiet the barrel, it's going to show a high dB because it's going to measure the dBs off of the hammer hitting and the tank ping, you know, that boing. That's where it's coming from, that boing sound. But anyway, enough about that. I think I made my point. So if you haven't bought yourself a 357 from AEA, the Challenger, then I'm sorry about your bad luck, because you're missing out on a good rifle. I like this rifle. This is going to be my hunter this winter. Last year it was my Dragon Claw. It's between them two that I use for hunting, this one and that one. This one's going to be my first year hunting with this one. I hope it does me well. Last year I didn't get nothing. I didn't get to put down my own deer. I got deer meat from people helping me out and bringing me deer. Dale, thank you very much, Dale, by the way. I know I probably already thanked you, but here's a public one. Thank you very much, Dale, for that deer you gave me last year. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.